That was mercifully short. Only an hour and 20 minutes. Fucking sweet. Extraction. So, Extraction is a 2015 shitty Bruce Willis action movie starring Bruce Willis, Kellen Lutz, Gina Carano, and D.B. Sweeney. And it's the first of the Bruce Willis shitty action movies directed by Stephen C. Miller. Of course, Mr. Willis will go on to be in 2 more of his movies. One of them I only just did recently, Marauders. And I think he learned from his mistakes from this one in moving into Marauders, because Marauders is a lot better, a lot more watchable and interesting. Anyway, this one's written by Max Adams and Umir Aleem. Sorry. I guess there's always something interesting when there's more than one writer on a movie, because when it's bad, you wonder, like, how many shitty chefs were in the shitty kitchen. This movie's dumb, and it's crap, and I'm going to spoil the shit out of it, alright? Great. Awesome. So, Extraction. Alright, Extraction is about this young guy who 10 years ago his mum got shot because his dad was a CIA agent and his name got leaked out or some shit like that. So anyway, he grows up to be a CIA agent like his dad, but he can't get into the field because he keeps failing his test or whatever. And now his dad gets kidnapped and he has to go kind of rogue and save him. Movie. Now, you see this flick and it's like an hour and 20 minutes and you're like, oh yeah, cool. And there's a really long opening credit scene. Alright. Cool. And then not long after the opening credit scene, there's a really long montage. And you're like, okay, we're playing for time. Also, this movie kind of confuses me. The opening scenes are in the past, but now when we get to the present, he fucking tells his dad, look, I'm going to Prague. Then he goes to Prague, and I'm thinking, oh, he's doing field work and stuff. No, he's not. He's there to be like some kind of CIA analyst and to train to get field work and shit. And I'm thinking, surely if you want to pass a test to be able to work in the field, you'd do that kind of test at home. I don't know, man. This movie's going to hurt my brain because it feels like in this movie, everyone goes from Prague to Newark, New Jersey in like fucking 5 seconds. To the point where I'm just like, wait, he was just in Prague. How'd he get here? Doesn't feel like time. Usually in a movie, you get a feeling that some time has passed. But no, it always just feels like they're going from Prague to Newark to Newark to Prague to Prague to Newark. And I'm thinking, like, when they eventually get to, like, some fucking biker bar, I'm just like, why are they got American accents? Oh, they're in America now. For a movie about the CIA, by the way, most of this movie, most of it, almost the entirety of it, is set in America. Wouldn't you have your CIA movie be some kind of international spy flick? It turns out, right before this guy goes rogue, by the way, that apparently his dad has been pulling strings to make sure he doesn't pass his field exam, but apparently he passed every time and he's awesome. And I'm like, alright, cool, so he's actually good at his job, alright, cool. So he escapes and he's going rogue and all this kind of stuff, and he follows a lead into this biker bar. And I'm like, oh, he's really good, is he? No, he openly starts a fight when he's supposed to be some kind of secret agent in fucking America, which is a no-no, and then fucking gets his ass kicked and needs to get saved. And I'm like, yeah, he's really good at his fucking job there. Oh, yeah. This is, what, maybe the second, maybe the third one of these shitty Bruce Willis flicks where his wife dies? And maybe the third or fourth one where he needs to be saved? And might be the first one I've watched with the worst leading man in it. Alright, all these Bruce Willis movies, he's not the top bill because he's only in every movie for fucking 10 minutes. This movie's the same. And you'll have a younger leading man, whether it be Hayden Christensen, Jesse Metcalfe, or he's not that young, but Chris Maloney as well. This movie has a guy named Kellen Lutz, and he is awful. And he's in most of the movie. He has zero charisma. All he's got is like a handsome face, and that's it. He can't act for shit, man. He's awful. The movie's kind of like built around him, and that's kind of, So this is the worst leading man out of all of these kind of Bruce Willis-y kind of flicks, and that brings it down. You've got Gina Carano, who I like. I've seen her most recently in Mandalorian. I was like, oh, she's in this, cool. And they do give her some opportunities to kick ass, but not as much as you'd like. And you kind of wish that the movie would pivot away from this Lutz idiot and be the Gina Carano show, because that would have been a lot cooler. Like, her fight scenes are just better. Found out Marauders tried to have some character. It tried to do things. It had ambitions above what it was. And whilst it didn't quite work, it was kind of watchable. You know, Chris Maloney's really good. You know, had other really good actors in it. Yeah. But this movie, Extraction, just bog standard rubbish that leaves you kind of head scratching and kind of stupid. And I didn't like it. I did way too many notes on it, to a point where I'm just like, oh, I don't think I need to do this anymore. I think I know where this is going. Yeah, there's a betrayal you'll see coming a mile away. Oh, all this kind of stuff, and I don't know. Movie's really dumb. Yeah. But not anger-inducing. Which is something. Now, I have the score right here, but I wrote the wrong ones. So, let's do it right now. This is good video. Now, Extraction's short. At 120 minutes, an hour and 22 minutes or something like that. It's also really boring. So it has really nothing going for it that's exciting, interesting, or whatever. Now, I will say Stephen C. Miller is a much better director than Matt Escantori. He's able to kind of learn from this movie and do better things than subsequent ones, but they're still mediocre. And this one's no exception. It gets a 3 out of 10. All these posters make them look really good too. Don't be fooled by any of these Bruce Willis flicks that I've been reviewing, man. Now, will there be a time where I do a good Bruce Willis flick? Yes. But now's not the time. By the way, this was the third of 3 Stephen C. Miller Bruce Willis movies that I've reviewed now. And I did a quick IMDb on Mr. Willis, and I discovered that there's a director named Brian Miller. Fucking loves working with Millers, I guess. And he's done 4 movies with this guy. So, yeah, stay tuned for those. 3 out of 10.